your latest news update from Western Mass News.
Good morning, I'm Glenn Kittle, and here's your latest new update from Western Mass News. Developing news, a man was arraigned yesterday after Springfield Police said that he tried to lure a young girl into his car. Julio Rodriguez was arrested on Thursday on charges of enticing of a child and indecent assault and battery. Officials say there's only one victim at this time, but there potentially could be more. Rodriguez's next court date is on November 3rd. In Holyoke, 3 people are facing charges after a lengthy investigation with drug trafficking at a Pine Street apartment. On Tuesday, authorities executed a search warrant, and during the search, heroin, cocaine, and an unlicensed firearm and ammunition were seized. Police arrested 39-year-old Benjamin Santos and 40-year-old Elizabeth Polk on drug charges and 30-year-old Luis Martinez on gun-related charges. And 2 people have been arrested in connection with several armed robberies in Chicopee. Most recently, 20-year-old Wilfred Rosado Columba and a juvenile are accused of robbing Flanagan's package store on Springfield Street on Monday. Evidence allegedly connected him with that incident and other robberies happening earlier this year. In total, Rosado Columba is charged with 5 counts of armed robbery and masked robbery.
A much cooler feel to the air today. First alert meteorologist Zack Duhaime. 40s and 50s will do it. Most of us should be in around 65 for a high, only maybe 55 to 60 at tops. After yesterday, we saw mid to upper 70s. Yeah, they're going to feel a lot cooler today. And by this evening, with calming winds and also clear skies, temperatures have about mid 30s. Yes, a very chilly start, a frosty start for some on Sunday morning. A frost advisory until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So for overnight tonight into tomorrow morning with some scattered frost. Real field temperatures across the area, 8 o'clock. Yeah, freezing in Holyoke, Springfield. Looks like 34 in Ware, 35 in Orange. The good news, it's going to feel like fall, but also look like fall. Moderate color just to our north. Some areas of moderate color, even locally in the hills and also in the valley and swampy locations. So the good news is for those that don't like the fall feel, at least you get to see the nice feel out there. Near 70 again by Thursday, but that comes with some heavy rain. 50s to near 60 this weekend with gusty winds. The 10-day forecast, no real weather until Thursday into Friday. Could come in the form of a cold front with a powerful wind and some rain.
Stay with Western Mass News on air, online, and on our app throughout the day for breaking news, weather, and exclusive content.